Hello, my name is Matthew, and I read a murder mystery. I read Some Die Eloquent by Catherine Aird. This is part of the Calishire Chronicles. I read it on my e-reader. You can see that. And it was great. I wouldn't say that I loved it, but it was very enjoyable, a pleasant read, and very welcome for the moment. I needed some sort of break. I didn't want anything heavy, and this was just perfect. It was a light, breezy, fun page turner full of suspense and mystery, and gave me everything that I would have wanted. And it was a quick read. And the story is it begins with the detective. His name is Detective Sloan, and he's at the hospital, or I should say, he's at hospital with his wife who's expecting. She's late into her pregnancy, and they're at the hospital for routine checkups and things like that. And the detective gets called off to look at something suspicious. And there was a woman that died who had no reason to think of foul play. There wasn't any gunshot wounds or knife stabbings or anything like that. But this sort of average middle class regular old woman had one thing that was very unique. She had $250,000 in the bank that nobody seems to know about. And so red flags go up and alarms, and the police want to get involved and really check and see what's happening. And it turns out that there's more than what seems to be on the surface. And I won't spoil anything because figuring out the story and learning about what's going on, all the suspicious characters and family members and people that pop up is what makes it all so fun to read. But I will say that my two takeaways from reading this, and I should say that the murder mystery genre is relatively unfamiliar to me, at least in print. And so the first thing that I recognized immediately was how fast paced the story is. It just flies through with sort of like this athletic, confident storytelling style. Everything is stripped away except the bare essentials. And it does a couple things. It makes it a page turner. You want to keep going. But all of the details that are included become so much more intriguing because it could be a clue. So what a certain person said, or a detail that was noticed, an observation, or just a casual mention. Someone says something in conversation, and as you're reading it, you're going, well, is that important? Is this important? And it's just great fun. Like, as a reader, I get to try to play detective. There was one example which has nothing to do with the story, but the main character, the detective, and his wife just finished this amazing dinner. And it's not even mentioned what the dinner was at all. It doesn't say what they had to eat. They didn't say that the husband or the wife spent hours in the kitchen making something, or that they had leftovers, or they got carry out at their favorite restaurant, or anything like that. It's not even worth mentioning because it's not an important part of the murder mystery story. But I just think it's great. And the other takeaway was how small scale the story is. It is just a case that this detective is on. It's not the life-changing, humongous breakout case of his life. It's just another day for the officer, or for the detective, and it feels that way. It feels just like one of those masterpiece theater shows that would be on Sunday nights, like Inspector Lewis or Midsummer Murders. It's an incredibly measured story, and the tone reflects that. The way that there can be levity or humor, um, the even the whole overarching plot of the story, the way that we have a little climax, we have a conclusion, everything kind of wraps up. Um, the characters don't end shaken and just absolutely um, twisted and horrified by serious things. It's not a serious story. Um, so I'm being very vague because it's the whole point of reading it is figuring out what's going on. But like I said, I enjoyed it. This apparently is like the eighth book, or it's one of the books in the series later on. So I'd be interested to know if you've read it, or any of the stories in the Calishire Chronicles. And if you had, please let me know. Should I start at the very beginning, or are there certain books in it that are the really great ones? Are they all good? Should I sort of dot through this whenever the mood strikes me? And also, what kind of murder mysteries do you like to read? I'm really out of my element. This is something that I don't know about really at all. So I'd love to hear what other kind of murder mystery stories that you like to read. So if you'd like, leave a comment, and I'll share that again. So leave a comment if you'd like, and thank you for watching. Bye.